Oh, this is a big one for New York since we're talking about big cities.
Massive protest.
Yep, protesters vandalize New York City train stations, set off smoke bombs, jump turnstiles, and rally against over-policing in subways. They're putting glue in the card readers and stuff like that, so people have to jump, causing sheer chaos. Now, I am all for this kind of direct action, but
But
be prepared. You're gonna get your ass beat.
you fuck up somebody's day to where you fuck up them getting to work and blah blah blah.
People aren't gonna be happy. You're not just worrying about the police.
Right.
And part of the problem with the police in New York is they're the 8th largest standing army in the world. They have the manpower. They set up rings. Even if you stage a protest in one area and you have your exits covered, they have layers upon layers for anyone trying to escape. I learned this in Occupy. They have everything covered.
Right.
Just be prepared to be arrested.
They've planned it out prior to you coming there.
Right, and the fact that
they're the city planners. They lay out the footprint.
They got it covered. That's just know what you're dealing with. If you're willing to do that, Godspeed. Have fun. One of the things I don't like about the way this is being organized is that it's all in the open. It's all on social media.
If you have nothing to hide, if you have nothing to fear.
True. I guess. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. But the problem is that they monitor all of these channels and they prepare in advance. So
right. You're kind of giving them
when someone puts together these anonymous videos encouraging people to go out and do this and saying we are out there, expect us. Well, they're expecting you. So that kind of gets a lot of innocent people caught up in it. So just be aware. Be aware and
hit
be
them
prepared.
with something unexpected.
Here's this protester, Ian Evans, 22 of Brooklyn College. Transit is a right. We need to get to work. We need to be able to get to school. The solution, they said, is to eliminate the subway fare, which even the subway fare being $2.75, when I was in New York, it started at $2.25, and then it went up to $2.50. The price
is that like a one way? How does see? I've never ridden a subway.
Yeah, one fare, one entrance.
Oh, okay.
$2.50 one way.
So it's like $5 to get back home.
Yeah. Once you leave the station, you have to pay another. Yeah, or you get a Metro card or something like that. Most schools will offer you a student pass or whatever,
like a discounted rate or something like that. Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's expensive. That $2.75 doesn't actually cover the cost of the ride. The subway system is heavily subsidized.
Oh, really?
Yes. The MTA is kind of.
Well, I know the one thing about the subways is one thing I had learned was they've got water pumps that run 24 hours a day nonstop.
Yes.
Because you're on an island in a tunnel underground.
What
are you doing?
I think only 2 or 3 of them are diesel. So if when the power goes out, you have problems.
Because now your pumps aren't pumping water out,
right,
and your tunnels fill with water.
You'll shut down the entire subway system, at least at the low points.
Right.
Which is everywhere. So if you want, pick a day where it's going to rain. Over 4 inches of water, the sewage system combines with the rainwater. So pick a rainy day, knock out the power, and you can shut down the subways for a good amount of time.
Then you have millions of people pissed at you.
And you'll have 8 million people really pissed at you.
I'm not. Just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of people could use that information. I don't recommend it. I don't know these things. I've never studied New York City.
No, actually, New York City is one of those I haven't. I've got no need.
No.
I'm not going anywhere near there. You know.
But you have more tunnels out than you do bridges, by the way. So.
Tunnels out than bridges?
Yeah.
Ooh, good to know. So as long as the tunnels aren't flooded.
It's like 27 tunnels and 19 bridges or something like that. You know, information. Double check.
Info. Get excited.
So, yeah, good luck, guys.
How do you spell racist? They yelled. NYPD. Back to the article.
I can breathe. They're such assholes. Oh my God.
But like you said, 8th largest standing army in the world. They're brazen.
Yeah.
They know their boys in blue will back them.
Oh, the entire city will bow to them. But, there's something to be said. The youth are fed up, especially with the stop and frisk policies and all that crap. I think they stopped that, but they're still doing it.
Right. It's one of those things where, we don't do that anymore, but
Here, put your hands behind your
still
back.
doing it. Yeah.
The streets are ours, the trains are ours, the walls are ours, the moment is ours. Protest group Decolonize This Place tweeted Tuesday. How will you and your crew build and fuck shit up for FTP3 on January 31st, this Friday? Oh, did we miss it? There's no updates.
No updates.
Huh.
What in the world? It will not be tolerated. Okay.
Yeah. They're not very happy about it. They also
right.
recommended that family members refrain from wearing clothing items or carrying items brandishing the department name and logo for their safety.
Oh, like don't identify with those you support?
Interesting. Well, hey, if you ain't got nothing to fear, what do you got to hide? Or what do you got to... If you ain't got nothing to hide, what do you have to fear? And look what they're hiding. Right?
Get excited.
The tides are turning.
Teen Vogue. I was 14 and cited for feeding the homeless.
I'd rather do that than give Trump more news time.
Yeah, fuck Trump. Let's find out what this 14-year-old young individual was up to.
Teen Vogue's actually had some pretty good articles the last couple months. They're on top of shit. I like it.
See, this is the first Teen Vogue article I have seen that I can say I remember. Maybe I should follow them more often?
Yeah, especially because they're targeting the youth, and the youth have a lot to say.
Yeah.
They have a lot of
POD,
problems.
right?
They have a lot of problems that have been handed to them by boomers.
Well, let's not make this a generational thing, okay?
Shut up, boomer.
Okay, they're still on your side.
Shut up,
okay?
boomer. All right, I'm 14 and was cited for feeding the homeless. I should have probably read this because this is a pretty big article.
So let's
12 people were cited for defying a ban to feed homeless people at a park in El Cajon, California.
El Cajon.
El Cajon. That's racist. Police issued citations to the volunteers, some of whom were working with Break the Ban. So basically, they're campaigning specifically against the bans on feeding the homeless.
Now, according to The Guardian, there's been a hepatitis A outbreak in the city that's resulted in the death of 20 people. It's prompted mass vaccination and the bleaching of streets.
Since when was bleaching of streets an appropriate method of disease control? That's like the Chinese flying their drones and spreading.
But you've got people shitting and pissing in your streets.
Why are they shitting and pissing in your streets?
Because they're homeless.
Because they have nowhere to go.
You've made them homeless with tons of vacant buildings sitting around. It seems like you created a problem and now you want to blame them because you have to clean it up.
So Stanley Lemon, a professor of medicine and leading hepatitis A virus researcher at the University of North Carolina, said, if the food was provided with usual cleanliness, I can't see how it would contribute to the spread of Hep A. Because isn't Hep A spread through fecal matter?
Yeah.
So unless you're fucking pooping in your food and handing it to homeless people, you're not spreading.
Or not washing your hands, or and I believe that's what he means with provided with usual cleanliness. Just your basic kind of wash your hands, put on some gloves.
What frustrates me is that it's being portrayed as a heartless act of a city that has no compassion for the homeless. I couldn't disagree more.
Well, you're the city. Put them in one of your empty city buildings at night. Give them a place to shit and piss, and that takes care of some problems.
Some.
Maybe not all the problems, but you got to start somewhere.
Right.
Figure it out, 14-year-old Ever Parmalee was among those who were charged for violating the emergency ordinance. Penalties, if convicted, for this 14-year-old could be $1,000, 6 months in jail, or both. Ever is a genderqueer activist who decided to get involved when El Cajon passed the ordinance on October 17th of 2017.
I knew that something had to be done about it because it is unconstitutional and unfair. Interesting approach. It sparked my interest even more, though, because LGBTQ plus members experience homelessness at a much higher rate than the rest of the population, and I want to help all people, especially those in my community. Basically acknowledging the idea that, hey, it could be any fucking one of us.
Out here, homeless in the streets looking for food.
Yeah.
So let me do my part to help them. Not today, hombre.
So 30 minutes after they handed out oranges, bananas, breakfast bars, blah, 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 and hygiene products,
Right.
police arrived.
So it's not like these are, pans of shit cooked in somebody's kitchen, where they're coughing on it the whole time or something. These are fruits,
Right.
fucking hygiene products. Hey, you're living on the streets, keeping clean is a good thing.
Here's an improvement, though. They didn't arrest anyone. They didn't destroy anything. They were just given citations and a court date, which is still fucked up. But that's better than getting beaten and arrested.
Or the other places where we've heard about, they'll bleach the food and make it, inedible now for anyone.
Right.
It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Like, how is this helping anyone? Well,
Right.
we don't know how it was prepared. Well, why don't you just fuck off?
Right. How about you mind your own business? I'm having a picnic with my friends, fuckface.
Right. How is that any different?
I mean, really, yeah. But then they hit you with well, did you reserve the time for the space in your park or whatnot?
Right.
They'll always find that little grasp of control. And that's what it boils down to, is
Control.
needing that little bit of control,
Yep.
over other people's lives, because you don't have your own shit figured out.
And what I saw, I don't have the article, but I saw it the other day. They're issuing stargazing permits.
Yes, in New York.
What the fuck?
It was $35 $35 for New York residents, I think, and $60 for out-of-staters. And they've got they're maybe like a state park type, the views where you can, go park and view. So yeah, they're licensing that as a stargazing permit.
Right. So if you want to come look at the stars in our park, you have to pay us.
Yep.
Which, what? You need permission to look at the night sky.
Well, you don't want any old asshole out here looking at the stars.
Yes, I do.
No, then there'd just be too many people looking at the stars and
ruining the beauty and grandeur of connecting with humanity on this giant rock barreling through space.
The government has so generously provided us with these stars that we should pay them to look at them.
These assholes.
Really?
Brexit. Goodbye, Europe. After years of Brexit turmoil, Britain finally leaves the EU. And I think the Paul Gordon put this succinctly. He said, now our tyrants are local.
Yes.
Not unlike the American Revolution, which wasn't fought over freedom, by the way. It's not about freedom. It was about the freedom to harvest our own taxes. We weren't seeking freedom from the king. We didn't care. The king had no fucking power. We wanted the freedom from Parliament from making decisions with our taxes.
Right. This is our money.
Right.
It's my money, and I need it now.
Why am I sending it across the ocean for it to come back in a fraction of what it was? Which is still tyranny. So that whole Sic Semper Tyrannis bullshit, we got to get away from the king, unite or die. That's about getting the common man to be okay with taxes. Sorry.
Figure it out.
And that's no different than Brexit. They're tired of someone bigger than them harvesting their taxes and them getting nothing in return, which is a fair
assessment.
In the state paradigm situation. That's a very fair assessment. That's saying, hey, we're getting fucked for no benefit. But at the end of the day, they're still saying, well, we still want to get fucked. We just
want to get fucked a little less, or control our fucking.
Yeah, we want to control. We don't want to come on our face. We want it. It's like you're choosing a preference for how you want to be brutalized, which is kind of life. But when you're talking about the state scenario, it's always this majority over an individual.
Right. You lose the individual, everybody's all, protect minority rights. There is no minority smaller than the individual. If you are not concerned about an individual's decision upon their own life, you are not concerned with minority rights.
Basically. So with a population, blah, blah, blah. I'm not even going to read this.
He traveled down from Oxford to mark the occasion. We're now free to do what we want, he said, wearing a knitted Union flag sweater, hat, and pin. Wait, you needed someone's permission to be free to do what you want?
Right, they had to vote on it.
You had to vote on whether or not you could be free.
Well, that's the trick question. They're not free.
Right, but to them they are. They're free of this oppressor.
They are free from the European Union, which was actually probably helping them more than anything. So, in a recorded speech, the Prime Minister sought to help heal a deeply divided nation. Our job as the government, my job is to bring this country together and take us forward. Forward. That is the most nondescript.
No, forward doesn't tell you, because you can be walking forward into death or forward into happiness.
Right, everybody's moving forward. The march of time, it doesn't matter who's prime minister.
It goes forward, right.
It's basically saying, well, we can't really do anything about it now, so let's not do anything about it now.
Good idea.
This is the dawn of a new era, which we no longer accept that your life chances, your family's life chances, should depend on which part of the country you grew up in. What does that have to do with Brexit?
Well, it's to the Conservatives' recent success in wooing voters from the north of England who had traditionally voted for the opposition.
Oh, so basically, this is kind of like the battle between upstate New York and New York City.
Okay, yeah.
New York's getting all of these taxes, but it's all going to the city. So the farmers are saying, well, all of this is going to London. Right. And that's making the deal with the European Union, and we're not getting any benefits, so let's break it off. But then they're still subject to London. Right.
Yeah, they just got free of this oppressor. When you have oppressors stacked up, you got to start knocking them down one at a time. You can't try and take them all at once because you can't. No. Okay? Because you have to have a special tax stamp to get full auto. You know what I mean? You attack it one at a time.
I mean, hey, they're happy. They think this is the way to go. I mean, honestly, it probably doesn't make a difference in hell.
It's all about perception and selling that idea to people that, hey, this is better, right?
Right. Oh, they have a Liberty Bell. Oh, wow. They had a little pamphlet with a Liberty Bell on it. The irony.
Yeah, but thousands of people went out,
Yeah, it's fantastic. I love these displays of solidarity, whether it's the gun rights protests in America, these teenagers going out and defying the law, or the New York protesters, or the French protesters. People are coming together and realizing there's a power in numbers. Mm-hmm. We had this whole focus on individualism for such a long time where we kind of all drifted apart, and now we're all consolidating and realizing we need to work together. Even if that is something stupid or something in the wrong direction or something ineffective, people are at least starting to realize they need to come together.
And it's all about being able to maintain your individuality within a group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to be able to teamwork.
Because if you really think about it, without the group, without holding each other up, without backing each other up, without the market, you as an individual are meaningless. You're absolutely meaningless. Even if you want to isolate yourself out on a farm in the middle of nowhere, you still depend on others in humanity, whether it's because your other people around you are causing pollution and destroying the environment and screwing up your harvest, or what have you. You need to sell your goods to people, so you can live this life of subsistence. You can, but it's utterly meaningless. Or you can kind of embrace the power of humanity and excel as an individual.
And work it,
Yeah, work your garden.
Build your network.
All those things.
The bigger your network, the more access you have to things and ideas. And with more access, you have more avenues of opportunity. Why limit yourself? Why settle with your niche market? Oh, we're only going to advertise to this niche market. Everyone's a potential buyer of an idea.
Everyone. You don't want to have be it so vague that you don't know who you're targeting. But
I'm eating dots right now. Subpar News is not sponsored by Dots.